you watch any of the debate last night?
No, I don't watch it because they don't really give them a chance to actually talk.
Oh, they barbecued.
I know they want to. I knew that's what it was going to be. Just
They
them
barbecued him last night.
going after.
He was sitting there. He was standing there looking like a deer in the headlights.
Which one?
Well, to be expected, but he don't give a shit.
No, he got
Because a
money.
lot of the things they're pointing out are things that he's trying to find. He's trying to pull those Trump voters. That kind of like the shit they're saying, and they're like, I don't give a shit. Because obviously they don't give a shit. They voted for Trump.
With worse shit.
Mm-hmm. Go lay down.
With worse shit.
Well,
I'm just basically sick of politics. Period.
I just wanted to go back to not even normal. Just
I'm just sick of
I
politics.
wanted to make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Then we need to.
Because we're used to a certain norm.
The norm doesn't make sense. That's the issue.
Can't we just go back to like finding like a boring ass like white man for president that doesn't want to change anything?
Why?
Well, or at least work to change it back. You know, I don't know. I'm just done with this whole like reality TV show that, you know, this like shock value. Like, it would be nice if we could stop focusing on like what these fucking crazy assholes are doing or what it means to people and start like doing things that actually affect the majority of the population.
Yep. I guess I'm a victim of education to a certain degree.
Okay.
When I was in school, for some reason they really pressed civics as being an important thing that we all had to learn.
Right.
So, you know, I had civics classes that just dealt with with the structure of the government and how things are supposed to work.
And your role in a
And
civic
everything,
society.
and not even that. It's just that everything that I was told, I'm finding out is bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
And another thing that I'm kind of pissed off about is this. Why are we living under the rules of guys 200 years ago?
Oh, why hasn't anything really changed?
They need to change certain things in the Constitution to bring it up to date. Because there's certain things in the Constitution don't make sense today.
Yeah, I get that. Oh wow, that song feels good.
That electoral college, I'm not buying that anymore.
It would work better if they actually
If they actually did what it was supposed to do. But
split the votes up. Yeah.
They have played with it, all this gerrymandering, all this weird stuff that the Republicans have done. And the Democrats have done some great shit too.
Gerrymandering doesn't really affect that. That's
Yeah, but it affects the vote.
yeah.
It affects the election, dude. And what is the other thing they call districting, where they play around with districting and just all kinds of weird
I know that I don't know enough about it to really have arguments with people that think whether I believe they know what they're talking about or not. I don't have counterpoint. I'm not the type of person that does research and has a mind that memorizes quotes,
all that shit,
pieces of information.
Right.
I hear them say it and I go, yeah, that's cool, but
You go, yeah, that's cool.
it doesn't sit in my head. It just like it's you know.
Well, I'm what's the word for it? I'm numbed now. There's nothing that Trump could do to piss me off anymore.
You lived through Nixon.
I am
in comparison.
That's
to
what I'm
Nixon.
saying. I'm complete. Well, no,
And Reagan, man. Reagan wasn't good either.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right about that. Well, no. Let me put it this way. Reagan should never have been president, just like Trump should have never been president. Now Nixon is another thing because he just had a lot of people fooled.
Huh?
He had a lot of people fooled, and people didn't really find out about him till it was way too late.
Oh, how racist he was.
Yeah. When them tapes
Anti-Semitic.
came out, everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
Anti-Semitic motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. He was a what they back then they call a lily white man. Lily white.
Lily White.
Mm-hmm. Lily white.
Do you feel like it's changed?
No.
Do you feel like racism is less? than it was
Racism,
when they were fighting for the civil rights in the 60s.
no, it hasn't changed. You know why it hasn't changed?
Oh,
Because the people haven't changed.
yeah, it's the same.
Now, don't get
people
me
in power.
wrong.
You're
I'm
right.
not saying all white people are evil or anything like that. But this country is controlled by older white men.
Who have been in control since the fucking 60s. Well,
Yeah, well-
not that long. They've been in control since the 80s.
Yeah, and they've done a lot of real evil shit as far as poor people and disenfranchised people are concerned. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I just look at it historically. It doesn't matter who it is. They've always come down on the poor.
Well,
That's not true.
There's
What do you
not
mean? When?
Let me put it to you
When
like
in
this:
history
if they didn't assassinate Kennedy
and the same
when
with
they
FDR.
did,
If
he would have
FDR
done a lot of stuff that would have been really
Imagine
cool.
if FDR hadn't had polio.
There's another one, FDR, and FDR's wife. If it wasn't for FDR's wife, FDR wouldn't have been that sympathetic. His wife, man, she was something else.
I mean, we're setting up the situation. I watched that Amazon thing last night. That was on PBS. It's one of those frontline investigative things. It's really because if you talk to a libertarian or anybody of that sense, they're probably going to be like, well, it's just. I mean, he basically took a system that was set up for this, played it perfectly, made some bets, and the bets paid off. And the bets were fucking massive.
And you're talking about
he was
talking about Trump?
No, Bezos.
Oh, Bezos.
So Bezos in the early days was basically running the company on nothing. Like Uber, for example, wasn't worth anything until it went to the market. Like the people who invested in it, if it never hit the market, because it hasn't
lost
turned
their ass.
It hasn't turned a profit yet. Uber hasn't turned a profit yet. So it's kind of this thing where you make these companies that they're gonna turn profit in the future because that's what Amazon did. Amazon basically used all your money to build the infrastructure that Amazon is, and took that and went, okay, now we're making money.
Yeah, all his ducks in a row.
Yeah, now that we're making money, you know what I'm saying? We're better, because it was basically to get more share in the market.
You know what Bloomberg said last night? He said he's going to give all his money away.
Yeah, there's a couple billionaires that are going to do that. Buffett says he's giving.
Yeah, but I know Buffett said
Buffett's not giving any money to anybody. Yeah, but again, it goes back to the point of why.
Well, other people have
You
done
can
it.
give away 3/4 of your money now, and still live a life that's
Of course.
beyond imagine.
Without a doubt.
So it's like, go fuck yourself.
But
I
you
don't
already-
want
it's
that.
like-
At
like-
this point, these guys know how the game works. So I bet you Buffett could make $1 million, not now even having not a dime to his name.
Yeah, because he's Warren Buffett, so he could walk in and get loans for days.
Yeah,
I get
they
that.
know. Yeah,
Because they know at some point they're going to get paid
He's
off.
good for it.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody thinks you're good for something, that's when they'll let you have it.
and man,
Just like
that's
drug dealers.
Thoughts?
crazy how
Just like drug dealers who...
Thoughts?
banks used to be like that though.
Is this fresh? It hasn't been put in a jar, has it?
Nope.
All right, so I'm going to get by the taste a little bit with that. Not a bad taste. It's not developed yet, though. I can tell that. But not a bad taste. What is this?
A branch of one of the blood oranges. I can't remember which one. I forgot I even hung it
That
up.
you just let it dry?
Yeah, I just hung it up.
So
and
it
never-
wasn't ready anyway.
Yeah, no.
Right. So it's not bad then. I say it's not bad, if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, it may produce something. We'll see. Again, I think this is number 2. So number 2 wasn't very strong in flavor in the first place. It had less flavor.
It did? You mean when you smelled it and...
Yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
smell like anything to me. But other people seem to have liked it, so I got one more coming through. We're going to try it again. And then I'll put it on standby to see if I can get some actual weight off of it and product that people want to buy.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then I might throw it in rotation for a little while. Like,
Yeah.
See what happens. But I definitely got pollen. Guess who's gonna be spreading some pollen today?
I'll say.
It's 3-day too. It's a perfect day to do it. I can shut off all the fucking fans, move things around.
And do your thing.
I can't get that.
Is this in here too?
What?
What is that?
No, that's just scraps
Oh,
he had.
Scrap
well, that's what he's smoking.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was smoking earlier. Scraps. Scraps.
Why are you smoking scraps? You don't have to.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes. To be honest, because I need to sell it.
Oh, I got you.
I got to get rid of it.
You know
I
what
got
you gotta-
people.
you know
I
what
got
you gotta
people who
sell.
need it,
Mhm.
and I can live off my scraps for a while.
Right, exactly.
You know, until I can get the counts up to where they should be. You know. Plus, I have edibles, so I can just do that too. Not have to fret. Is that really what I think it is?
There you go. Very interesting.
Hmm.
But yeah, this whole politics thing, I'm just burnt out.
Yeah, I don't really understand it.
I'm burnt out. It's just another game in the simulation for you to get involved in, so they can laugh at you and say, "Look at the stupid motherfuckers down there." What are we gonna do next to them? I can see them now up there, whoever they are, or whoever's ever controlling this. I know they'll laugh their ass off. What can we make them do next? Let's send a virus down and see how they react to that.
If you'd believe this thing, because this piece was kind of like, is a combination of we think there's things, but they're so big we can't really prove to you that there's things, and this is what they want you to believe. You get what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
the kind of piece it was. It was like,
Yeah.
we know we have these people. No one who works there will say anything, obviously, because they don't want to lose their job.
Job.
And no one takes into consideration that it's the only job there is. So they act like these workers have choice,
Right.
but they don't have
They don't
choice.
have choice.
Yeah. So, but they don't take it like, no, our workers are happy. A good, because in their mind, if 85% are happy,
That's a good number for
that's
them.
winning.
Yeah, that's a good number for them.
Fuck yeah, it is. I mean, that's a good number for any company.
That's true.
That big.
That's true.
You're gonna have. Well, no, you should be more.
It should be 100%, but it's not going to be in the real world.
True.
I don't know. I feel like some people you could, like, I got in this conversation the other day, like, what is happiness? And it's different to each and everybody, but that's the thing. Some people are just miserable all the time, and I swear that that's their happiness.
No, people who are miserable all the time are miserable because they were raised in a situation where miserable was all they knew. Most people are what they are because of how they were, like their whole beginning of life influences who you become. So if you're someone who's around happy people, most likely you're not going to be a miserable person. Now, it can still happen.
Yeah, because
There's other
things
factors that can
right.
happen. There's fucking dogs that come out different.
Chemical imbalance.
Yeah, anything. Or a fucking hit to the head, like a little bump. You don't.
Some hereditary factors.
That's not an account.
Okay, so that's my thing. So like,
It's complicated.
by the definition of
Yes.
when they go 85% of our workers are happy, does that mean that some of the cynical people are happy? That some of the laziest people in the world are happy? That they're just happy that they
You're
can
talking
get away
about.
with doing nothing?
Get away with doing what? Nothing. They're working their asses off. That's the issue about
Well,
Amazon.
and I know Amazon but yeah. They monitor them and they're like cracking the whip pretty
Crapping
much.
the whip,
like,
and if you
you
don't-
gotta hurry up, run.
Yeah, and they have moving fucking.
You got to
quotas.
remember something. There are people all around the world ordering stuff from Amazon 24 hours a day, every second on the second.
Patience.
So it takes a lot of people, and they got to keep it moving.
But patience is a
I
virtue,
get that.
and speed is the factor that makes the money. So.
But you could still develop a system where the owner doesn't become the richest man in the world; he becomes the third richest man in the world, and his employees live like he could hire more people or do different things.
I don't think-
Doesn't matter. Give it 5 years. He's not going to have any employees. All those
I
jobs
know.
are going to disappear.
Like that's just to
Yeah.
me like
They're
I
disappearing.
don't really
They already turned it into a robot because this is what you do now. You stand in an area and the fucking machine comes to you. You grab, put in a box. That's literally within. How long is that going to be before you have one person running 20 of those fucking robots?
It could happen right now, but they won't let it happen right now because people would be too fucking mad. They could do it tomorrow. They already got the robots and the
I know.
technology. They just try to do it slowly so people could be trained to do other jobs or just
They're not
get
being
fucked. Or
trained.
just get fucked.
They're just. I think at some point, I think he's going to get everywhere he wants to be in the U.S. And once he's in all the places he wants to be, because he goes into these places like Hazel Park and all these other places, it's like, we're going to come in and we're going to bring in 10,000 jobs.
Yep.
We want $1 million or $1 billion tax cut.
And there's 12,000 unemployed people in that area.
Yep, we want a tax cut. So they let him come. And they give him the tax cut. But then in 5 to 6 years, when he's everywhere he wants to be, then he can roll out the robot army.
Oh, he will.
Then it doesn't matter.
Believe me.
Because he's not big enough in the global market yet.
See,
That's the issue. He's
see the
not big
point I
enough in
made
the global
earlier.
market.
The point I made earlier.
You know
about-
they don't deliver Amazon to fucking Sweden, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like they have.
Well,
He's only a small. They only own like.
Sweden is a very small country. It's not that many people.
There's still like 11 million people in the.
That's in the whole country, dude.
So there's still 11 million people in a market
I know, but it's not.
of people who buy a lot of stuff.
I understand.
It's a wealthy country, so that
I
11 million
I-
is like 11 million fucking Rochester people
I understand that.
compared to 11 million.
But when
Hazel Park
Amazon
people.
looks at something, 11 million people. There's 11 million people in New York.
I get that, but not all 11 million people are wealthy, and a good percentage of these people get paid from the government alone. So, like, it's supposedly they,
No,
they
I
live
understand
off the
all
government
that.
or whatever. the
I
fuck it
understand
is.
all that, but obviously, they must not think it's that big of a market if they're not there, or is
I don't
Sweden
think
don't
they-
want them there.
I don't think they can come in yet.
Okay, well that
I
must
think
be
it's
it
more,
then.
I think it's more to do with not being.
They're not wanting them there
not-
yet.
And I think there's some other countries, either that or like you said, he just haven't reached that far yet, because it takes time to get around the world. You can't.
Plus, he
just-
wants to go to the countries that have a billion people or
He's
89 million people. He needs that kind of really make that money the way he's making it. Cause I mean, look,
he's
he's in India.
is he?
They're in China.
Are they?
Sure,
Are you sure? Look
Come
up,
on,
see if
they
you
gotta
can get
be.
Amazon in China.
they gotta
Or
be.
Amazon China.
India.
They work with the people.
So they gotta be there, aren't they? They got
Maybe.
people working for them there.
I don't know.
So
they might
technically, they're there.
they might just ship the stuff out, because Amazon's nothing more than a
No, I'm sure-
marketplace.
I'm
It's a
sure they got-
storefront on
I'm-
the internet.
I'm sure they got. Well, they gotta have people for customer service.
It's like a flea market.
But they have to have people for customer service.
Who?
Amazon. They have to have customer service.
Yeah, they do. I think
So that means
most of
they have-
that's here.
That means they're hiring thousands of people to pick up telephones.
Yeah. There's a rumor that they have thousands of people who just listen to random Alexa fucking things that they've recorded from people. And they go through them and they basically use it as a way to upgrade, like kind of like finalize things into Alexa so she becomes, because Alexa might be our first AI.
And they
Okay, so Amazon already went to China and they acquired their big company that was like an Amazon. They acquired two companies and made it Amazon. One was called Joyo.com and the other was the Joyo Amazon.
Okay, so they're in China.
Yep, Beijing headquarters.
they're in India.
Are they in India?
Yes.
Where are they around the world? That's it.
If they're in China, I know they're in
The
India.
guy, the CEO, one CEO guy said that they're only 1% of the world market.
Who is Amazon?
Amazon.
That's
That's massive. That's
what I'm saying.
But
yes,
they try to make that sound like they're small.
right.
But
if
they
you,
never take into account
but if you look
that
at the
every other
figures,
company
the
is like
numbers,
0.0000%
right,
of the economy.
Exactly. They're a juggernaut, man.
Well, they do have to compete with Walmart. Walmart is one of their
Is a
biggest
monster.
is their biggest competition.
They're a
Yeah,
monster
they're on
too.
the same level. And now they're doing the same thing Amazon does, just on their website. You can find the same shit you find on Amazon and Walmart's website. So it really depends on where you want to go.
And what's his name? The comedian that got hurt by Walmart.
It doesn't tell you. Yeah.
No.
You can't.
Tracy Morgan. You know, a Walmart truck hit
Oh,
a vehicle that he was in, almost killed him and killed his best friend.
yeah. They were talking about that too. That was another issue too with the
They think
independent drivers
they paid him over $100 million.
to go away. It'd be a fraction of what they make.
In court, they might have lost more than that.
Yeah, but that means your
So-
best, some of your best material ever as a comedian goes away. Is it worth $100 million?
Well, what do you mean? His best material ever?
So think about it. You're a guy that gets hit by a Walmart truck, and you're a dude who makes jokes.
Yeah.
That's years of material.
Yeah. But he
Could
didn't.
you make $100 million off that material?
Probably not.
No. So he banked.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's
Because
Tracy
he
Morgan.
wasn't-
Tracy
be-
Morgan makes
because-
money.
A year from now, he might go screwy and not be able to tell any jokes.
Wow.
That's why he got that kind of money. When you have a closed head injury, they never know what might happen to you in the future. You could have multiple strokes, all kinds of shit can happen to you. So, if you have a closed head injury, they make sure you get paid a lot of money because you don't know what's going to happen. You end up being a vegetable 3 years from there because of the accident. But getting back to that Walmart and Amazon, they've already started the robot deliveries in,
Yeah, I know.
I think in Arizona,
The
in a couple of
drones.
places. The drones and the that automated thing that drives out to your house and you just walk out to it. They got this automated thing, man.
Yeah, I heard about those. That's what that one.
At some university, they're doing them already.
Yeah, there was a what the hell was it? What's that show? Black Mirror episode that had pizza delivery. That's what pizza delivery was.
Well,
It was basically this truck that would drive to you. You come out to the truck and grab it out of the.
Well, they're
see,
doing that right now.
See, that's the thing. It would bake it.
They're doing that right now.
It would make the pizza for you as it's
on the
driving.
way to
Yeah.
your house. It's
So that way when you
hot
get,
when you get it.
like fresh out the oven.
They're already doing it. Did you know that?
No.
It's in some university. One of these universities, they already got that program going. The thing comes out to the dorm. You just come down. They put it in there. It cooks on the way to you. Yeah, they already got that. And the only reason why they're not delivering by drones yet is a couple more federal things that have to be done before they can do drone delivery to your house through the air.
It'd probably be that one that'll do it too.
Well, I mean, simply put, I don't think that we can have drones just flying around until the infrastructure is changed and power lines are put under the ground.
No.
Because I mean,
They'll
with
you don't have to put power lines under the ground.
They'll see them. They're
It's
easy.
AI, man.
It'll be.
that's the problem
There'll
with
be a-
AI, though. AI can't become artificial intelligence because it can't differentiate what is a living object and what is an inanimate object.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, but what you're not understanding
I don't
is
think that's
AI
true.
can tell that there's an object there and it doesn't need to go by it. That's what AI can tell. It can tell from 100 feet away that there's something that could be in the way, so it's going to.
It's got sensors on it
Yeah.
that'll automatically route.
So when it comes to my house, it's going to be like boo, and it's going to wait there until it knows that there's no one anywhere near it. It's going to come down, land, and then it's going to make sure there's no one around. It's going to take off again, just go straight up and
It's-
go.
it's
Remember,
like those
these drones
wires.
can literally go like a helicopter,
Yeah,
up, and
straight up
down,
and down.
without any issue. So tell me they can't get around
They'll fly higher than those wires.
Yeah.
Come to your house and it just comes straight down.
Yep.
Because it's a grid. Everything's on a grid. It'll come straight down. It'll go straight
And
up.
there may
over.
be someone flying it too. Don't forget that. These
Yeah,
may
it
not
might
be
be.
automated. These
It
might
might
be
be.
dudes in a fucking building right over there going,
Fly
okay,
it. Yep.
in neighborhoods.
That's what they do with the
I just
military.
don't see it happening because
The reason why it might not happen, sound. Could you imagine that noise?
They're
sound.
If everyone's getting fucking packages, like
They'll,
this dude gets
but-
3 or 4 packages a week.
they'll figure it out.
She gets packages all the time. Maybe
They'll figure out some way to muffle it.
They got to.
They will.
But sound, and I think that another is you just. Oh, I lost.
I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. Americans want that shit. Americans want that.
It may not happen in this neighborhood.
Americans want. Oh, it's gonna happen everywhere. Americans want that shit because they will. When they want something, they want it now. That's the kind of people we are.
And I think that they're willing to sell their liberty and their freedom for it. And not even realize that they're doing it.
But what's liberty and freedom?
How much do we really have? Well,
Yeah.
it's just an illusion. It's really just an illusion. You can't do anything you want to do.
No.
You can't go anywhere you want to go.
No, but that's not the point. But that's the thing. Postmodernists think that power is the only thing that matters. That's why the people are allowed to do what they want. But it's also contradictory because it depends on where you're at. Because there's always a scenario where you won't have that advantage, where your money can't buy you out of a situation.
Tell that to Donald Trump.
Well, Donald Trump is smart enough not to walk where he shouldn't go.
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's always walking where he shouldn't go.
Yeah.
He's just above the law right now.
He just has
He
enough
should have
money
been
to
in.
get
He should have
himself
been
out
in
of
prison.
trouble.
He should have been in prison, but he's
Yeah.
above the law because he's the president. That's one of the flaws in that Constitution thing. See,
But
it's all kind
that's
of
the thing.
it's all kind of loopholes in it, so they can jump through them.
Yeah, I know.
See, and that's where
But again, AI will take
That's
care
where
of
I
that.
would
AI is
say-
gonna take care of that too.
I would say, like, from the postmodernist standpoint, that's where you would want to be, though, on
What?
the advantage end, where you
We-
do have power and control. That is winning, being above.
No, being part of the law is true winning. Being above the law is cheating.
Well, yeah.
Man, just wait 20 years from now. You'll still be alive. You'll still be alive. I won't
He doesn't
be
do
around.
anything special. You know what he does? He plays off things that are easy. He plays off fear.
Oh, no.
If I literally yelled bullshit about that left-wing people were scared shitless of, how many people would tune in all day long? Because that's what they want to hear.
That's their hope and their dream.
They want you to put their thoughts in, like,
Into
he's
action.
putting, like, when they see him,
he's
they
riding-
go, he's just like me.
Yep.
Not realizing
But
That's
that-
what I would do if I was him.
Yeah.
He rode the opposition of the. I mean, we knew that we were in a PC world, like from the Clinton era to the Obama era, right? So everything started becoming more, you know, let's balance everything
We
out.
started
let's-
realizing people have feelings.
Yeah.
And we started trying to be
And-
mindful
yeah.
of people's feelings.
And
And
then
then there's
he-
a rebellion from the people who don't give a shit and don't
And-
want to be mindful.
And that's the team that he played to.
Right.
He played that perfect.
Right.
No, he didn't play it perfect. That's who he is.
Mhm.
That's who he
Yeah,
is.
he's just
His
a dude that's always
dad
gonna stomp
was
on
in the
that
Ku
fucking-
Klux Klan. His
Yeah.
father was arrested at a Ku Klux Klan rally. That's who he is. He's just being himself, what he's been taught by his parents.
Yeah. I mean, remember, his dad supported the Nazis.
Yeah, and his uncle was part of that group too, because he was part of the founders of NASA, who got all Tesla's
Did you know-
journals and things like that.
You know there was a Trump that was a scientist?
Yeah, that's his uncle.
Well-renowned scientist.
Trump? Or Trump?
Trump, yeah, Trump.
Well, I mean, he changed
No, he
name
changed his name.
when he came here.
Yeah,
He was Trump.
yeah, he was.
His dad changed it. Sorry, let me rephrase that.
Somebody did. I don't know
His
who
father
did.
changed it
Somebody
when he
did.
came to America because it wasn't strong enough. He needed a strong name, so Trump became the name.
Well,
His
Trump-
dad, his
Trump.
dad stayed underground. He mob lifed it and racked up $1 billion worth of fucking properties
So isn't that
and
like
watched his
some?
son piss it
all,
away.
all that shit.
Isn't that some mind over matter
I'm sure
shit or some?
I'm sure most of that.
Secret.
I'm sure most of that money he made in conjunction with the mob, some kind of mob shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was
Yeah,
you were pressured out. Like you had to sell or you got beat up. Like
exactly.
went into areas where poor people owned and threw them out because they didn't have a choice. You either die or you get the fuck out. Take our little bit of money we're gonna pay for it,
Get the fuck
which
on.
is barely at market value if you're lucky.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing back then. Back then, the mafia, all those illegal organizations, and even the police, they all made money off of the poor communities, the Puerto Rican or black communities. That's where they made all their money, because they were all crooked. You know, they would go to the dope house, raid it, keep all the money,
We're on drug shit.
keep all the fucking money and the drugs, and take the drugs across the town and give it to the mafia, and they'd sell it for them.
Yep, right back
And
to
the other guy ain't gonna
opposite.
say nothing. He ain't gonna go, oh man, they took my drugs. They just didn't take him to jail. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But they took all this shit.
And
And they told him, when you start dealing again, we'll be around every 2 weeks, and this is how much money we expect to get. So the corruption was unparalleled, especially here in Detroit. Right now, you know, Detroit police is going through a lot of corruption shit right now. But the Detroit police was one of the most corrupt police departments in the United States at one time, man.
how does it get like
They
that?
were
Just
so
'cause-
corrupt that the federal government watched them for 5 to 7 years. They were under the eye of the FBI for 5 to 7 years because they were so goddamn corrupt. They
Why
were
do you
dealing
think
drugs.
it got like that?
Was that Coleman Young or?
No, it had nothing to do with Coleman Young. I'm talking about the police department. We knew how to get like that.
How many times did Coleman Young serve? 2? You're only allowed to serve twice, right?
No, he served 3, didn't he?
I don't know.
I don't think it was term limits back then.
He was the mayor from '74 to '94.
There you go.
Well, that's a
10
lot.
years.
Yeah, that's
94 is 20 years.
From what?
from '74 to '94.
Oh, yeah, it's 20
that's
years.
30, 20. Oh, yeah, 20.
Yeah, 20 years.
And I know it's like it's 6 years.
Yeah. No.
What terms?
Yeah,
The mayor's term is. No, isn't it? Is it 6?
it's got to be 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's 4.
It's got to be 4.
It's 4. Yeah, it's not 6.
It's got to be 4 because he got 20. That's 5 terms. Damn, 5 straight terms. And then who was after him?
What was his name?
Bing.
No.
Wasn't Bing the?
He was temporary mayor for a while. It starts with an S.
They put a fucking baseball player or a basketball player as a mayor. Like here, you can be a temporary mayor, Mr. Basketball Player.
I mean, he had a degree from college. I mean, he wasn't a dummy.
I didn't say he was a dummy. It's just,
But I mean,
it's just it's still kind of like
I can't even remember the name of the fucking mayor after.
because he was a businessman.
Well,
That's
there
Bing's
was.
thing. Bing
I
was-
can't remember when Kwame came in, but man, he used to
2000s.
come in the fucking. No, he was the late '90s, right? He
Well,
was
94 was fucking Wayne, so no, he had to be
how old?
early 2000.
Yeah, he's been in jail for about
Yeah, because he went to jail in 2008.
yeah.
All that shit came to the head.
And that is talking about
Oh, you're right. From
They talk-
02 to 08.
they talking about he wants Trump to give him a pardon. That was on TV
Just
yesterday.
might.
That was on TV yesterday.
Just
He's still in
might,
Texas, or
He's in jail.
yeah, but they sent him to Texas.
Yeah, I guess because his family lived down there or some shit like that. So yeah, he's
Whatever.
still in jail.
He's in,
Where he
he's in-
belongs.
he's in fucking cushy jail.
Where he belongs.
There's difference between jails.
Yeah,
He's
but
the
see,
one
for a
of
guy
those-
like him, that's not a point, because jail is jail for a guy like him. He's used to living the big life, man.
I understand that
So he ain't living the big life in there.
because his
Yeah, but a
family,
certain amount of money.
his family was politicians before, weren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, his mom was a state representative.
Oh.
His dad was one of the biggest numbers men on the west side of Detroit. His dad was a legal numbers man before the lottery came in. They had numbers. Okay?
Yeah.
You're the guy that go around with a book.
The state doesn't own lottery. Someone owns a lottery?
I don't know how it's set up. The state's supposed to own it. No, I think the state owns it. They can you can be licensed with them and do certain lottery things, but the state owns it.
Well, the gaming commission owns the lotto, don't they?
And they're appointed by the state. So that tells you right there who runs it.
It seems like a lot of money that just gets used to. I don't know. It's kind of I love. You think of 1984? Like everything here is just 1984. The only difference is you don't have to have a picture of the great leader in your house yet.
No, the only difference is it's not 1984. 1984 happened a long time ago.
But the book.
This is like
No, I know what you're talking
this
about.
is like Brave New World.
I know what you're talking
Brave
about.
New World.
Brave
It's
New
not,
World.
to me, you know what?
Huxley. It's like the sequel to '84.
Listen to what both of you are saying. You're talking about a movie about real life.
No, I'm talking about the
Science
book.
fiction. No, a movie, book or science, whatever. You're talking about science fiction,
Well,
basically, and how the world was supposed to be,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, why is that? We're back to a simulation again.
Okay.
We're right back to it again. Every time I do something, it ends up a simulation.
What makes me know that it's not a simulation is the fact that there's consciousness.
The fact that you know that means it is a simulation. See, that's the ironic thing about it. That's you're thinking what they want you to think.
Not most people don't break through consciousness, though. I don't think.
This got nothing to do with consciousness. I don't think. I could be wrong.
No, it probably
I
does.
could be wrong.
It's probably how you win the game. If it's a simulation, then it's probably a game of sorts where you constantly. Maybe that's what Indians figured out, that, in a sense, with not a way to put it, because there's no video games when they figured it out, back when whatever all those holy books were written or whatever the fuck they are, but they figured out that life's a game, that you're playing to win, and the way you win is by finding enlightenment, finding nirvana, finding path. And
Not necessarily.
Because
Everybody
you
don't
can live
think
ignorantly.
like that.
No, I'm thinking
You
of
can-
Indians. I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. You're
Indians,
talking
yeah.
about specific.
They just don't know
people.
what a video. You're saying a simulation. They figured out it was a simulation back then. They just didn't have words
to express
to express it.
technically what it is.
Yes. So it's more mythic sounding than, say, what you're saying, simulation. But the idea is if this is a simulation, maybe this is a simulation that you're constantly doing over and over again. So I'm in this one, you're in yours, he's in his, and if we get to the next level, which you can through meditation, other things, whatever it may be, get to the next level in this life, then you transfer on to the next fucking whatever it is. God
Tier,
is
you
what
know,
they call
whatever.
it.
But
Yeah.
I think the simulations are only working in the physical. In other words, your consciousness is something else the simulation can't work, can't control.
Right.
It can control your physical,
But it can keep you here. Over
physically,
and over.
only physically,
Right.
only physically.
So when you
Once
die,
you leave your body, the simulation don't work no more. You gone. It's only working on you because you have a body. You have a thinking brain.
Right.
It has nothing to do with consciousness. They don't want you to have a consciousness. They want you to be just that body, that primal animal.
What are you, battery?
But who's they?
Whoever made the simulation.
Are we talking like Matrix shit, where I'm a battery somewhere for some?
Well, no, you're who you are. It's just that you're caught up in the simulation,
I get that.
but you don't know it.
Well,
99% of people don't know they're in a simulation.
how would you
See,
know?
I think like the things that you call simulation are the things that I think of in my head as laws of nature, forces of nature.
Of course.
Things that just are undeniable, but to me, consciousness is when those deviations happen and break into something new.
Yeah, that's just my thought. That once you break through the physical, the consciousness can't be corralled like that.
But the simulation could keep you coming back and recycle you back in to become new
That's possible.
entities in a simulation until you can escape it.
And,
Like a reset.
But do you go to a higher simulation? Or do you
Maybe.
escape simulation period?
There might be different levels of simulation, and at some point you get to the Godhead. Well, they call it the Godhead, but you get to that point where you don't.
See, that's got nothing to do with it.
That's my point. When I say Godhead, they say Godhead because they didn't have words for it. They didn't know what a video game was. They'd never seen a video game of Mario
I see
through the
what you're saying.
levels and coming to the end game.
Okay.
I'm just saying, they call it Godhead. We call it finishing the game. And by finishing the game, you understand everything, whatever it may be, and maybe you don't need to exist anymore. Maybe that's when you're finally able to rest peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, isn't that what everyone wants? To
and
be
the
able
only-
to sleep?
And the only way you're going to rest peacefully, is after you leave here, when you die. Because there'll be no physical pain,
No, I get that. I'm
no
on that.
hunger, no desire,
I
no
get that.
envy,
I
no
get
rage.
that. Yeah. There's no.
Why do you say that? Why you say that? And
Because
I
those are all things
that
that are body
Yeah.
involved.
Because I felt moments
Alright.
in my life where I understood that there's only one thing in the universe, and it's, you can call it love, you can call it hope, you can call it whatever the fuck you want, but there's one thing in the universe, and it's not
you
evil.
strive for life.
No, it's not evil. That's the thing. Your body makes you strive for life because your body wants to survive. It constantly wants to keep going.
And
With or without you.
And it desires things. The
Yeah.
body desires things. A pretty girl,
That's
a
why
nice
you-
car.
But that's why you
But
can lose
that's why those
yourself in
things
thought.
are more rewarding when you restrain yourself from what you want.
That's not my point, though. My point is your body. If you left, your body would keep going. It would keep going. It would just do what it does. Because the ego will do what it does. Just like when you lose yourself in thought and you're driving down the road and you drive 25 miles without fucking
Remember stopping at a traffic light or
anything.
Or making
Yet
a right
you still
turn.
went through it because there isn't another part of your brain that's on constant auto that's doing everything
doing
for you.
all that. Yep.
Okay, so that means that the front, which is the consciousness, might actually just be a separate entity, and is only trapped in here because of life, because of and then because think about it. If you woke up you woke up at 5 years old and you knew that like I don't want to say 5 is weird, but like that's why hell became a thing in Christian lore, because first you start telling people that heaven's there. And that once you die, you
There's
go to
a
heaven.
reward.
So if the fucking poor people who are living with fleas and are getting eaten up every fucking day in pit bottom hear that, oh, I can go to heaven, fuck it. Why am I here? I'm not gonna get to that point. Let me go to heaven and get my castle in the fucking sky, whatever the fuck it is.
Whatever it is.
But then they went, oh yeah, but if you do it yourself,
You might not go there, buddy.
no, you go the other way.
Oh.
So now you still have to be our slaves.
The old catch-22.
There's a way to keep people from fucking offing
I'm
themselves.
telling you, man.
That's all hell is. A way to keep slaves and indentured servants from a time ago when this religion shit was invented from
You have to keep
offing
the-
themselves.
And-
Because
and-
if you just if no one knew anything and you told them all of a sudden why would I be here?
But that's tit for tat. Otherwise, tit for tat will go forever because that's what tit for tat is. Tit for tat. Whenever somebody does something to you, then you do something back, and they do something back to you, and you do. That will go on for all history. If you don't have a moral compass, something like religion.
No. Again, there are plenty of examples of...
No, he's right.
What?
For the average person, that is what it is.
Tit for tat.
Just what he said. For the average person that hasn't been enlightened yet. They haven't
But
even
that's,
asked.
That's animal
They
instinct.
haven't even
That's
asked the
nature.
question, why am I here yet? See, look, you got a lot of people, man, that are really just animalistic.
Well, that's because they're just in the ego.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that they're not asking those
But they're
questions.
not taught because
They're not even thinking like that.
because they're not taught that there is those questions.
Exactly.
If you're taught those questions when you're young, or you because for some
Or
reason
you seek them out.
for some reason I came
To
thinking
to me, it's the ego that wants to know the answer to those questions.
no,
It
it's the
is.
egos that's
I say it's
preventing
the
you.
opposite of
I
that.
think it's the ego
I'd
that's
say
preventing you.
it's
Yes, you're right. The opposite of what you
because
said.
like it's like the leaf. We're all the leaves. Every person is a leaf, right? And you get lost the fact that the leaf is part of the tree, and then the leaf dies. It disintegrates in the ground, and it gets sucked back up in the tree, and it makes another leaf.
I don't
So-
forget that, but okay.
But I think that that's the thing that people forget, and people all want to be the. So let's call it the leaf, call it the flower, the thing that lasts forever. They want to be the oak. They want to be the tree, but we're all just the fucking leaf.
Again, and that's the ego, which is running your body, your primal instincts to survive. It's either through your seed or through just pure will of being breathing.
Well, seed is the only way to truly live and survive and
Forever,
continue.
yes. I get that to an extent, but you still, the ego seed,
Well, yeah.
you
well,
don't
no.
go on.
Now here's an interesting thing.
As much as you may train your
So-
kids, your kid could completely different than you.
So the
Yep.
ego and verbalization are different because someone's actions versus someone's verbalization are completely different.
What do you...
I mean,
What
like
does that
so.
have to do
So
with
the ego is there whether it's verbalized or not. It's something that's shown, but I think that the verbal ego is more of like a domino effect. That when you verbalize ego, it kind of rubs on other egos and ricochets, like pinballs, versus cause and effect, and that's more the tit
I
for
think
tat.
it's you. I think you're putting too much into it. It's more of an influence. Your ego influences you. And by the way, ego,
only if
all I
you-
mean is ego is your body in a whole. So the gut biome, your brain, the bacteria that's on your skin, everything all works in coincidence without you knowing to force you into things that it wants and thinks it needs to survive.
That's coming from someone that only does things based on their wants. What if you're a person that always goes, well, here's the fact. Here's this side of the coin and here's that side of the coin. And I'm going to not hold an opinion, or maybe I will hold an opinion. So, like, your ego is only your ego if it can't be changed.
No.
But your ego is you. It's what affects who you are. Your consciousness.
No, I
is
think
the-
it's separate. I think it's just completely separate. I think the ego is the darker self, not even a darker, but the simplistic self that keeps you from running into shit when you're fucking reading a fucking text message or reading a paper. It keeps you from not breathing when you're completely off in a different world. Your ego's there to keep you alive, because if you didn't have the automatic system, you wouldn't be here.
But all animals have it, and animals don't
Oh,
have
wait a
it.
Right,
minute.
but the animals don't have the front system.
But wait a minute.
Frontal
Let's
cortex.
let's
No, the front system. The front system that knows it dies.
But what is the definition of ego?
I think the definition of ego is yourself. Yourself, the body itself, is what causes the ego to be.
Ask Google what the definition
Oh,
of
wow.
ego
Well,
is.
There's different.
There's
Everyone
the
has different
id,
philosophies.
there's the super ego. Define the ego.
But the point I'm making is that
Ego is a person's sense or self-esteem, self-importance.
that's the ego.
Right. Your desire to survive.
It's beyond that. No, it's
No.
more than that.
No,
It's not just your.
yes, it
Is
is
that-
more than that. But
Right.
in a sense, it all affects that. Your sense of survive is the reason why you dress up nice to fuck women. Not you, but your body wants to survive. Even if it's just half of itself, it still needs to send half of itself onto something else. So it's going to do what it needs to do that. It's also going to do what it needs to do to feed itself because it knows it needs nutrients to, specific foods that the bacteria in its gut like. It cares more about your gut than it cares about you. That's why it's so hard for people to get off of sugar and change diets and go to something good, because your gut biome is so influential about what you eat. And you have no willpower at 11 o'clock. No one does. It's just natural for you to lose. Like, you have a vial of willpower in yourself that you have.
Rudy, do you wake up near the same time every day?
Yeah. Within 45 minutes.
Right. And when you get up every day, it's easier for you to accomplish the things that you want to do in life and make choices. Every choice you make takes a drain out of your willpower, whether it's the simplest thing of, I put on a shirt. What shirt am I putting on? Oh, I'm putting on a fucking blue one or a red one. Now, as you get through the day, the willpower keeps dropping. Every choice you drop makes. So at some point, you're down here with the battery, and choices are just way easier. It's way easier to make the choice that, say if you had a donut that was there in the morning, you could go half a day without eating it, and all of a sudden you can't eat it. You're just like, I can't stop. I got to eat it. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but that's me being an addict of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
That's an example I would use.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that realistically probably happened in my life where I literally, because I've spent a good 10 years trying to lose weight, to try to, like, not be a fat ass, in a sense. And, like, my roommate, though, was just as fat as me, so he loved donuts, he loved all that stuff, so he'd have donuts on the counter, and I would go 3/4 of the day
eating donuts.
No, not eating them.
Oh.
Being like, I got this.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I got this. And then, 10 o'clock rolls around, I'm fucking tired, I got the munchies. Oh, dude. I went all day without a donut. I'm gonna eat me 2 donuts. So I'd eat 2 donuts at 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? But not knowing that there's a reason for this. Because, again, I'm, and you can build it, obviously, over time. And understanding that you make, every choice you make kind of nips it a little bit, even if it's a small choice. You know what I'm saying? Do I wipe again? Yeah, I better wipe again.
It's like me.
That's a choice.
I've got a roommate, and she's always got her sweets and stuff. And I'm the type of person that never will eat sweets, will never buy them unless I have to go to the store. But sometimes I'm like, man, there's that box of cookies that's been open on the table for like 2 weeks. I'm like, man, those bitches are about to go bad. I'm so hungry. She won't mind if I take just one, and then I take one, and before I know it, I ate 3 when I would have never had one to begin with. Just because it's there.
Yeah.
Temptation.
So
devil.
That's the toughest thing, is understanding what you can do and what you can't do. I know myself. I know if I at some point I'm gonna eat all that ice cream.
Yeah, but see, that's a part of ego. That's not really the ego.
No, it's more complicated than just what you eat and all,
it's
passing
what
your seed. It influences a lot of.
I think the
choices.
ego is about adorning yourself more than anything else. In other words, you have to have the best clothes on, or you have to have the nicest car, or you have to have a car of a certain caliber.
So you're convinced that ego is aligned with vanity?
Yeah, exactly.
But
no.
Because I think that it depends what your
vanity
line
is a big part of ego.
You could have a different line of vanity, because there's people that
it could be not cars, it could be video games.
Vanity is vanity, regardless of what it is. It's
Right.
still vanity.
But I think, again, it's part of the ego in a sense, but there's a reason you do it. Like, everything you do for a reason. There's an underlying reason. And your ego controls that reason.
And that reason is given to you by your surroundings, your environment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what a Cadillac was unless people told me, that's a really nice car. Okay?
Right.
So that's an ego thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a Cadillac. I could get by with a VW. But I want that status. Ego is piling wanted things on top of each other. And you don't necessarily need, but your body and your mind.
I'm going to send you one of this guy. I'm going to send you this podcast you got to listen to. It was, I think it was an Aubrey Marcus podcast. You know who that is, right?
Mm.
He's the guy that runs On It with Joe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's Joe's partner. Done a lot of ayahuasca.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about now.
Yes. Changed his name, actually. He was Christopher. And he changed his name to Aubrey. But anyways, he's got a disc golf
That
back in
sounds
his
weird.
backyard. That's all I know.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, anyways, so the guy he talks to is this, I think he's a movie star and he has a band, like a jazz, like he does like a band, I don't remember. I can't remember what his name is and I'll figure it out.
He's a movie star with a
Send it to you.
band?
Yeah, like, does movies and he has a band.
Okay.
But it's not like it's like a jazz, or it's like a instrumental band that does like, you know, like more psychedelic music.
Okay.
Or more Buddhist type, like more of that kind of like
Okay.
jazzy,
World music.
yeah, world music than it is anything else. But either way, his way he talked about the ego in the conversation, I mean, he had like, he sat in his car at one point for an hour to have it out with his ego. He's just like sat there. He's like, why are you fuck this? We're gonna sit here and we're gonna figure out why. Why are you here? Who the fuck are you? Why do you try to make me do things I'm not? Like, and he talks about the conversation he had with his ego. And
But you don't do that every day, all day? I do that all day, every day. I talk to all the facets of my personality and I break it down. Oh, I do this because, you know, my mother was here too much, because my mother wasn't here enough.
Well, I never do that.
Because she broke my heart
But
in
that's
this
so
way.
different. That's so different.
Because I was here during this point when I had this glorious feeling.
You know, meditation helps with that. Because yes, my life was set up at one point where my 1,000 thoughts. The difference between me and you is I couldn't see them. They're all words, and there's too many. So I couldn't understand what thoughts were going through my head. They were all there, but it was usually I usually only focused on negative thoughts and fears.
I don't have negative thoughts.
Well, that's all I used to focus on. I don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
But
It took a lot of work to get to that point.
Sure.
And I still have them every once in a while. It's
Of course.
The
human.
only
You're
time
human.
I ever have a negative thought cross my head is when I have to put my mental space into what I think another person's mental space is.
Huh.
Okay.
So, like, if I were to
But then
think
you're
like,
just that's the issue though. You're assuming you know their mental space
no,
when you don't know.
I'm assessing all the things that I know about their childhood, about their daily life, their work life, their
Right.
personal life.
But the only
So-
way you can assess it is by comparing it to yourself, which you can't compare.
No, because
their
I'm
life
doing
is-
it on the scale of all the hundreds of people I've ever met in my life. I'm not doing it comparatively to me, although that might have been the starting ground for it all. But the more people you know, the more people you talk to, the greater grounds you know for an assessing on how people function and work.
I mean, people have. I don't have time for that. There's too many people, man.
Too many.
Too many people to be worrying about whether or not.
Well, I don't
Any
care
of
what
it.
anybody thinks.
All I can worry
But
about is
sometimes
how I
wonder
treat
why they do
who I
things.
treat.
Exactly.
I don't. I used to, but I
Your
stopped
flow.
wondering about it because I don't. There's nothing I can do about it. That's one of the reasons I don't watch movies
See,
as
and
much
I don't
and all
believe
that
that.
shit. I
I
used to
think
watch
that
all
you
kinds of
can do
movies.
that individually. You are in effect of everything. You can make your environment whatever you want it to be. You can be whoever you want to be. It's just where your will is.
I mean, to an extent, no one can,
Yeah.
you're not going to be LeBron James.
No.
If you tried to be.
You
if
can
I
try
tried
all
my
Every
ass
day,
off,
if every day you work your ass off to be LeBron James,
you can't be LeBron James because you're not fucking 6'10" and 240
well,
pounds.
I would never want to be LeBron
But I'm just,
James.
I
but-
can't.
He's just making a point.
I'm just making a point. There's certain things that are realistic. Yes,
Yeah.
you can be happy.
It's like the Serena Williams
be as
thing.
happy
Like
as him.
like when they go, yeah, Serena Williams, she would beat any man's ass, but realistically, she would rank about 30th in men's tennis. She's not that good as a man. She's just great as a
she would
woman.
just beat every man
But she'd
except
beat-
for some pros.
She'd be
no,
nice.
she would.
Like Paige
She-
Pierce.
listen.
Paige Pierce would beat most of the pros in
But
our
that's
league.
the thing. She won't beat most male.
Okay, if
tennis
Paige
players.
Pierce came and played our league, she would destroy most of the pros here. Minus maybe Herzog or Skylar if Skylar's having a good day. But if Skylar's not having a good day, she's gonna destroy most of them.
The only people that Venus
Venus is
or
gonna destroy almost
Serena
every
couldn't
man.
beat
Yeah,
would be the top flight tennis
yeah, top
male.
5 to 10.
They already go.
Everybody
over
else-
this. ranking by her numbers.
No,
she wouldn't even be in the top 100 or something.
For men.
Yeah, for men.
Well, that's the point we're making.
But for females, she's
That's the point we're making.
yeah.
That's still.
But
That's still great
That's the LeBron
for a
James
woman.
thing.
But for a woman, that's still great.
Yeah, and that is great. So like, just that. Why do you have to be LeBron James when you can be the best that you
No, it's
can
not.
possibly be?
I get that. I get. But my point is that's the realism I was talking about. Be an understanding of who you are. I'm not a fucking. I'm a disc golf player and I grow some weed. I don't do anything. That's what I've come to understand. That's what my calling is, and you have your calling. It wasn't baseball.
And if anybody
I probably
thought,
have broke a shoulder or something.
if anybody thought they could be LeBron James, we'd have thousands of them.
Well,
And
people
we
do it
don't.
all the time.
Well,
And
That's
we
just-
don't.
It's a matter of
that's
actually
the-
putting the heart
It's
into it.
a lot of factors.
See, that's like the guitar player shit though. Like every kid.